This is a story that goes beyond the game, touching on player safety and accountability. Former MLB player Darin Ruf is taking legal action against the Cincinnati Reds, claiming their negligence led to a career-ending injury 2 years ago. The lawsuit, reportedly filed Thursday, alleges the Reds failed to maintain safe field conditions at Great American Ballpark. Specifically, it points to the risks presented by an uncovered metal tarp roller that Ruf encountered on June 2, 2023. At the time, Ruf was playing first base for the Milwaukee Brewers. Tracking a foul ball towards the stands, he collided hard with that tarp, suffering a deep laceration in his right knee and a non-displaced patella fracture. The lawsuit describes the damage as permanent and substantial deformities to his knee. Ruf did attempt a comeback later that season, playing 7 rehab games in AAA, but he never made it back to an MLB field. He didn't sign with a team after becoming a free agent that winter, effectively ending his 9-season MLB career. Ruf himself spoke out, stating, "This didn't need to happen. I wish it didn't happen. Players shouldn't have to worry about hidden hazards like that on a major league field." His attorney, Tad Thomas, echoed that sentiment, calling it an obvious and avoidable risk, emphasizing that leaving an unpadded metal roller on the edge of the field is inexcusable. Ruf had a solid MLB career, beginning with the Phillies, finding immense success in South Korea's KBO, and then returning to enjoy his best seasons with the San Francisco Giants in 2021 and 2022, powering their 107-win team. While it's unclear how much longer his career might have naturally extended given his age and recent struggles, no player wants their time in the big leagues to end due to an alleged safety oversight. This lawsuit raises serious questions about field conditions and player protection across Major League Baseball. Shohei Ohtani to face hitters for first time since 2023 elbow surgery. New York, NY. The highly anticipated return of Shohei Ohtani to the mound is taking a major step forward. Today, Saturday, May 24, the Los Angeles Dodgers star will face live hitters for the first time since undergoing UCL surgery at the end of the 2023 season. As confirmed by manager Dave Roberts on Friday, this milestone occurs while the team is on the road facing the New York Mets. Ohtani has been gradually building up his throwing program throughout the season, recently incorporating breaking pitches into his bullpen sessions. Roberts noted that Ohtani has looked impressive in these sessions, reportedly reaching speeds as high as 95 miles per hour. However, the team is eager to see how he performs in a live batting practice setting. "It's all on his schedule. The stuff looks good. It's easy 94, 95 coming out of his hand. It's a really good throw," Roberts said. "I think we're all anxious to see how it looks to hitters. When he decides to ramp it up, I'm anxious about that too. But it's all on his schedule. It really is. When he's going to introduce the slider to hitters. When he really wants to ramp up velocity. All that stuff is between him and the doctor." A unique challenge in Ohtani's pitching return is his continued excellence as a hitter. He is currently batting an impressive .303 with 17 home runs and remains a favorite to secure his second consecutive MVP award. Roberts reiterated that the Dodgers do not plan to send Ohtani on a pitching rehab assignment, as they prioritize his invaluable presence as their MVP leadoff hitter. "Obviously, the buildup is important, but so is him taking 5 at-bats a game," Roberts explained. Postseason priority amidst pitching woes. The exact timing of Ohtani's full return to pitching remains uncertain. His original opening day target was shifted due to a torn labrum sustained in the 2024 World Series, which impacted his offseason rehab. While Roberts had previously stated Ohtani was still a couple months away, he admitted on Friday, "I don't think anyone knows how the next couple months are going to look. The decision will ultimately hinge on how Ohtani feels, particularly after today's session," though Roberts expressed optimism that the full return is starting to become more realistic. The Dodgers are taking a cautious approach, prioritizing Ohtani being fully ready for the postseason. His return would enable them to implement a long-planned 6-man rotation, alleviating pressure on their injury-prone pitching staff. Despite currently ranking 21st in MLB in ERA and dealing with a slew of injured pitchers including Tyler Glasnow, who just completed a successful bullpen session, Blake Snell, and Roki Sasaki, The Dodgers are in first place in the NL West with strong playoff odds. Their focus remains squarely on having Ohtani at his best when it matters most. The Los Angeles Dodgers technically won on Friday night, outlasting the Mets 7-5 in a rain-soaked 13-inning slugfest that finally ended just before 1 a.m. But calling it a win might be a stretch, because this soggy marathon just drained an already overtaxed pitching staff right before a brutal stretch of games. Dodgers skipper Dave Roberts was forced to use nearly every arm in his bullpen. Even Clayton Kershaw lasted just 2 frames. Not because of the Mets' bats, but because a torrential downpour caused over an hour delay, pulling both starters. Despite jumping to a 5-2 lead, the overtaxed bullpen faltered, and the offense sputtered, barely clinching the victory in the 13th. This comes at the worst possible time. Roberts has been vocal about needing more length from his starters, but the Dodgers have received the fewest innings from their rotation in MLB this season, averaging fewer than 14 outs per start. Despite Yoshinobu Yamamoto's incredible 1.86 ERA, the team's rotation era ranks 22nd in baseball. The reason? A crippling injury bug. A staggering 14 pitchers are currently on the injured list, including 7 starters from their opening day rotation like Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, and Roki Sasaki, along with 4 key high-leverage relievers. This has pushed unexpected arms into high-pressure situations, forcing Roberts to rely on pitchers he certainly didn't expect on our roster. And the worst is yet to come. The Dodgers have just embarked on a grueling month-long gauntlet, 26 consecutive games against teams with winning records. This brutal stretch includes the Guardians, Yankees, more Mets, Cardinals, and division rivals like the Padres and Giants. Roberts minced no words, stating this will be a good test and could be defining for their season. There are no obvious reinforcements coming soon for the pitching staff. While Glasnow threw a bullpen, his timeline is still unclear, and the outlook for Snell and Sasaki is even cloudier. Even Shohei Ohtani's pitching return, which saw his simulated game pushed to Sunday, isn't expected before the All-Star break, as the team can't afford to lose his bat. So, this rickety golden colossus will trudge forward with what it has. So far, that's been enough. But considering what's ahead for the Dodgers, we'll know a lot more about them in a month's time. This is a story that goes far beyond wins and losses, touching on a dark and disturbing trend in professional sports. Boston Red Sox reliever Liam Hendriks has just sent a powerful message to fans, exposing the horrible and cruel threats he and his wife received after the team's recent loss to the New York Mets. On Wednesday, the Red Sox fell 5-1 to the Mets, and some fans quickly pinned the blame on Hendriks. Despite striking out 2 batters to escape the 6th inning, he gave up 3 straight hits in the 7th, allowing the Mets to build their lead. The reaction from a segment of the fanbase was immediate and vile. On Thursday, Hendriks took to Instagram, lashing out at the disgusting response. He wrote, and I quote, "Just as an FYI, threats against my life and my wife's life are horrible and cruel. You need help. Leaving comments to tell me to commit suicide and how you wish I died of cancer is disgusting and vile." Hendriks, a 14-year veteran who's already battled non-Hodgkin lymphoma and undergone Tommy John surgery, didn't hold back. He continued, "Maybe you should take a step back and reevaluate your life's purpose before hiding behind a screen attacking players and their family. I think I speak for all players who have had to deal with this in their career when I say, enough is enough." This isn't an isolated incident. Just weeks ago, Astros pitcher Lance McCullers revealed similar threats against his children after a tough outing, leading to a police investigation. McCullers' comments echoed Hendriks, highlighting the unacceptable nature of bringing families and extreme violence into fan interactions. Hendriks joined the Red Sox this season, and while he's had a challenging start with a 5.56 ERA in 11 appearances, his message transcends statistics. It's a stark reminder that behind every uniform is a human being. And online anonymity should never be a shield for such hateful and abusive behavior. The passion of sports should never devolve into horrible and cruel threats. Enough is indeed enough. Alright, buckle up, because this story out of Denver is peak baseball absurdity. And it perfectly encapsulates just how rough things are for the Colorado Rockies. You know a team is having a bad year when their on-field struggles start leaking into stadium security. Here's the wild part. Ahead of Thursday's game, a Philadelphia Phillies player was literally stopped by Rockies security guards and refused entry back onto the field because they simply didn't recognize him. The player in question? Outfielder Johan Rojas. He had apparently stepped into the stands to take a phone call during pregame work, likely looking for a quiet spot away from the clubhouse. When he tried to get back to his dugout, security put up the block. Thankfully for Rojas, Phillies ace Zach Wheeler stepped in like a superhero and vouched for him, saving the day. Now, in the Rockies' defense, Rojas isn't a household name, even for some Phillies fans. And he probably wasn't in uniform, so the guards were just doing their job. But the entire situation is hilariously tragic because it's just another sign of how completely disconnected and struggling the Rockies organization is right now. They're on pace to break the Chicago White Sox's record for most losses in an MLB season. And now their security can't even recognize an opposing player. This isn't the first time this has happened in sports. Remember when Dallas Stars center Tyler Seguin, a six-time NHL All-Star, wasn't recognized by security in 2023? That was tougher to excuse. But Rojas, to his credit, took it all in stride, even posting a Mission Impossible spoof on his Instagram story after the incident. And he has every reason to laugh. After sweeping the Rockies, the Phillies are sitting pretty at 32-18, boasting the best record in the National League. Maybe after making some more plays in the postseason, Johan Rojas will finally become recognizable to all MLB stadium security guards. That's a story for another day. Though, what if I told you the Boston Red Sox just dropped a staggering 19 runs on an opponent? And one player had a career-high 8 RBIs, including a grand slam? Sounds like a dream, right? For Rafael Devers, it was a very real and utterly stunning turnaround from where he started the season. On Friday, in what was supposed to be Game 1 of a doubleheader against the Baltimore Orioles, the Red Sox unleashed an offensive explosion, winning 19-5, and at the heart of it all was Devers. Boston was actually trailing 2-1 heading into the 6th inning. But then the bats came alive. Devers launched a 3-run homer in the 6th, his 5th in just 10 career at-bats against Orioles pitcher Gregory Soto. But he wasn't done. Devers continued his rampage, hitting his 7th career grand slam, and his 2nd in just 6 days, as part of a monstrous 13-run 8th inning. That 13-run outburst was the franchise's 2nd most in an inning over the past 50 seasons. A truly historic display. Devers finished the night with 4 hits, and now leads all of Major League Baseball with an incredible 47 RBIs. This performance is even more remarkable considering how Devers began the season. A rough 0 for 19 with 15 strikeouts. Red Sox manager Alex Cora summed it up perfectly, saying, "The bat has spoken loud and clear since he's gotten here. You keep looking at the numbers and he's having an outstanding season. He keeps working at it. There were some flaws early on, but little by little, he's been building his swing." Teammate Brian Bello echoed that sentiment, adding, "Everybody is surprised about what he's doing, but that's who he is. Everybody was also surprised he got off to a slow start, but we know the type of hitter that he is." While the Red Sox celebrated their most runs since 2021 and finished with 20 hits, the Orioles continued their slide, now 16-33 after losing 9 of their last 10. Meanwhile, the Red Sox did have one minor concern. Third baseman Alex Bregman exited the game with right quad tightness, a situation the team is monitoring closely. But for now, the story is all about Rafael Devers. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. And at the heart of it? Rafael Devers, reminding everyone exactly why he's a superstar and what he's truly capable of. The Boston Red Sox just can't catch a break with injuries. Their latest blow? Star third baseman Alex Bregman exited Friday's blowout win over the Orioles with a quad injury. Bregman, who's been having a career year with a .297 average and 8.935 OPS, awkwardly rounded first base in the 5th inning and immediately signaled for the trainers. The team has officially reported it as right quad tightness, with manager Alex Cora stating they'll see tomorrow for severity. This injury sends ripples directly back to Rafael Devers. Just 3 months ago, The Red Sox moved Devers from third base to designated hitter to make room for Bregman at the hot corner. Now, with Bregman potentially sidelined, and Tristan Casas already out for the season with a severe leg injury, the Red Sox are facing a critical shortage in their corner infield. The local NESN broadcast during the game kept highlighting Devers on the bench, suggesting it would be incredibly difficult for the Red Sox to keep him at DH if both first and third base spots are open. Devers was famously unhappy about being moved off third initially, a position he can handle, even if not spectacularly. While the Red Sox absolutely crushed the Orioles 19-5 in that game, with Devers having a massive day including a 3-run homer and a grand slam. This injury compounds Boston's recent struggles. They're at .500, 26-26, and have already lost several key players to injury. On top of that, manager Alex Cora and pitcher Walker Buehler were both ejected earlier this week. This Bregman injury adds another layer of complexity. If Bregman faces an extended absence, it forces the Red Sox into yet another difficult conversation with Devers. Will he have to return to third base? It seems increasingly likely he may have no choice, as Boston navigates this tough string of bad luck and mounting pressure from a frustrated fanbase.